Hi, I'm Claire from SASP. I'm one of the health and wellbeing coaches. I'm going to take you through some movements that are designed to free up your neck and shoulders if you have stiffness there, or if you work at a desk a lot, or if you just have a postural issue where your shoulders are rounded forwards. So we're going to start by getting some warmth into the upper body. So some little circles on the elbows. I've just got my fingertips to my shoulders. I'm going to make these circles as big as I comfortably can. You might find that's smaller for you, and that's fine. I'm just going to start getting the blood moving, getting the joint warmed up. You might find that you get a little bit of crackling or crunching or popping in the shoulders. That's usual. You can try it the other direction. Okay, we're going to keep warming this up. We're going to do some little punches. So we're going to take the fists in front. We're just going to do a little punch, one hand and the other. I don't really mind if you're doing this like in a particularly effective way. I just want you to move. So I'm just going to push fists forward, keeping the shoulders back. You can do this at your desk at work and think about the thing that annoys you. Do it sat at home and think about the thing that annoys you. Going to do this for about 30 seconds or so. Just getting some movement going, freeing up those shoulders. Now we're going to do a speed bag. So you're going to circle the fists around each other. Watch your face, don't hit yourself in the face. Now if you have issues with your shoulders, you can keep this nice and low, keep the shoulders down. If you don't, you can bring it up. But make sure that you're squeezing those shoulder blades onto your back. Keep them in your back pocket. You can try reversing the direction. You don't need to. It just adds a little bit of variety. Just want to make sure we've got enough blood going to this area before we start doing any stretching or anything. Okay. So now we're going to do some movements with the head to get the neck moving well. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, float the head up to the ceiling. Nice and neutral, so your gaze needs to be level, you're not looking up or down. We're going to super slowly turn the head. So slowly. Almost like you're not moving. And you're going to go all the way over till you're looking over one shoulder. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths here. And then again, super slowly, we're just going to let the head drift and unwind its way back. So we're looking over the other side, and we're going to hang out here for a moment. Keep this shoulder down, and you'll feel a little stretch through the side of the neck. That's fine. And come back to the middle, again, super slow. We're now going to lift the head. So imagine your forehead is going up to the ceiling. Throat is going to be kept nice and long. Keep the shoulders down. A couple of big breaths. This little set of movements is really nice to do if you've just got 1 minute and you just want to loosen off your neck, maybe get yourself away from a computer. And then we're going to just drop the chin to the chest. Lovely job. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of release for the muscles, which we're going to do ourselves, like a sort of self-massage, because that's nice. So we're going to start with this muscle on the back of the neck here. So it's like that little triangle. If you take your opposite hand and you try to grab something, you'll find it's that muscle. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold the hand around the muscle and just gently kind of knead it. Just give it a little bit of a rub. You'll find the pressure that works for you. And then what you can maybe try doing is starting from the back of the neck where that muscle feels like it starts at, and then just smooth it down. So it's the back of the neck and shoulder. And if you find a point where it feels a little bit tighter or even a little bit tender or bruised, just hold it there for a moment and just let that kind of melt its way out. And you can do this for as long as you like, but at least about 30 seconds or so. And then we're going to swap sides. We're going to do the other side. So again, grab that bit of muscle there. Make sure you found it. I'm just going to let it loosen off. So when your head is hanging forward and you're looking at things, this muscle's taking a lot of the strain, and it can sometimes end up a little bit tight. So we're going to stretch it out later, but first we're just going to give it a little bit of care. And when we've done that, we're going to look at the muscles in the front of the neck. Now, these are the ones that get short when you keep your head forward. There's a muscle that runs from underneath your ear to your collarbone, and you should be able to find it. If you stretch your neck, you can see it. We're just going to take 2 fingers and just take them gently down that line, and the hand from the opposite side is usually the comfiest way to find it. We're just going to give that a little bit of a gentle pressure. We're not pressing too hard, so that you can feel that it's just stretching that out a little bit. And then again, we go for the other side. Find it, goes from ear to collarbone. When you can feel it with your fingers, you can just smooth it out. So we're just encouraging these muscles to release, because that will then allow us to move correctly, because if we're tight around our joints, we can't move properly. Okay, when you're satisfied that that's done, try sitting, see how that feels. Give yourself a little bit of a settle, let the head float up. We're going to do a little bit of movements to build some strength around the shoulder blades and the control that we have of our shoulders. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to shrug our shoulders up to our ears, and then we're going to drop them down. And I want you to feel your shoulder blades as you do this. You should feel like your shoulder blades are sliding up your back and down. And for some people, actually putting the hands in front and letting the hands copy the movement of the shoulder blade can be helpful. Some people prefer just to keep the hands out of it, but you want to feel that there's a definite movement from there. I'm going to do about 8 of these. And then I am going to put my hands in front, because I'm going to imagine I'm pushing open a door and I'm going to press forward. And as I do that, my shoulder blades are going to do that a little bit. They're going to open up. Then I'm going to pull back as if I'm pinching a pencil between the shoulder blades, and they should go, and they're locking in and they're in place and they're holding my shoulders really strong. And then I'm going to press away and bring them back. So we're using all the tiny muscles that control your shoulder position. We're making sure that they're working at their best. We're going to do about 8 of those. You can try pausing, pull it in and hold it, pause it there. Now, the last one of this sequence, you're going to take your elbows to your sides and your palms up. Imagine you're offering someone a plate of biscuits. Would you like a biscuit? No, you can't have a biscuit. I'm going to rotate, and this rotation, again, it comes all the way from the shoulder, and you should feel a movement in your upper back from your shoulder blades. Now, you probably find that when you try to sit yourself up straight, it feels like hard work. And what you're doing now in your shoulder blades may well also feel like hard work. If we do this regularly, then those muscles get used to being used, they get stronger, and you'll be able to hold a healthier posture that supports your spine more easily. So I'm going to do a couple more stretches just to finish off. First, we're going to link our hands, and we're going to round the back and open the shoulder blades up. I'm going to hold this for maybe 15-20 seconds. Take some nice deep breaths and release. Then we're going to stretch the chest. These muscles tend to get tight when your shoulders round in. So we're going to hold the elbows at a right angle and the hands are up. So you're like a fork with a P on it. And we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, just like we did in that last set of movements, like you're pinching a pencil. And that will open up the chest. So the elbows are coming back, but the elbows are coming back because the shoulder blades are squeezing in. Really tensing through that upper back, because that will also encourage the muscles in your chest to let go. A few more breaths here. And release. Last little sequence. I'd like you to point at the floor and then listen to your opposite shoulder. We're just going to let the weight of the head stretch, and you'll feel that through the side of the neck. And then we're just going to look slightly towards the floor, and you'll feel that a little bit more in the back of the neck and the back of the shoulder. And then I'm going to very slowly turn up towards the ceiling at about 45 degrees. And I'll start to feel it in that little muscle that goes from the ear to the collarbone. And then just back to the neutral position again and back up. And you'll probably feel a bit lopsided now, like this shoulder is lower, so we better do the other side. I'm going to point at the floor, drop the ear to the shoulder. Just let the weight of your body do the work. And then we're just going to look down to the floor. Up slightly towards the ceiling. Just till you feel that in the front of the neck. And then back to neutral. Release that. Roll the shoulders back a couple of times. You should feel a little bit taller, a little bit looser through the shoulders.